less headroom.
Yes. Not Max Headroom.
How's that?
That's perfect.
I got the reference.
Well.
Aren't you too young for a reference like that?
Nah.
Pretty sure Will and I are the same
Impressive. First time I saw Honey, I Shrunk the Kid, somebody told me, you know who that guy is? I was like, get the hell out of here. The next door neighbor was Max Headroom.
Oh yeah. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, come on, that was a computer animated thing. What are you talking about? I'll be honest with you. I'm not a massive podcast guy, and so when you started doing Crapsody, I wasn't familiar with your work, and I saw the first episode, and I said to Sean, he's fucking good. Like Will's good, because you just have this presence and personality, and the type of stories that I do, not everyone reacts. You know what I mean? It's like you get, because I set it up almost like a slow burn, and then I hit the punchline or whatever. And some people, they just look at you. They're just like, it takes like a personality that can play off of that, and I find you're really good. And so
appreciate that.
That's why when I wanted another weekly podcaster, you're like the first guy I thought of, because I thought Will could do this. Like he could. And then I knew, I don't know about you when it comes to entertainment news and stuff, but I know you love Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
And
so I actually, so RBR was the first podcast I hosted, but I did a podcast called Now Playing Now for years. And that was actually the first video show I had done, and it was all movie reviews and movie news.
Okay.
So that was that just got overwhelming, because trying to do a weekly movie review show, and I was seeing movies every week.
Right.
And it made for good date nights, except we had to see like bad shit.
Yeah.
And because I saw every single thing under the sun, even movies I'll be channel surfing some days, and I'll be like, oh yeah, this was something I reviewed on Now Playing Now and gave like a 2 out of 5 to. And like I said, we would do like movie news, gossip, like all of that stuff. And so that was one of the things that I actually miss. I miss Now Playing Now a lot, and people still hit me up all the time telling me they remember that show. Or
Oh, there you go.
me, Heidi Vio, and Darren Reynolds. Yeah, like it was at the same time actually. My work meeting was at 9 a.m. and the tickets went on sale at 9 a.m. And so I had this work meeting up, and I was in the queue, and literally I'm like halfway paying attention to either one. And then literally right as they said, okay, Will, can you share your screen? And I'm like, yeah. And then I turn my head and it says, you're through. And I'm like, fuck. And so I'm like, 2 seconds. And I get through, I put in the pre-sale code. And I happen to see a front row seat available, and I grab it. And I was thinking it was going to do the thing where I hit add to cart, and then it says somebody's already grabbed it, and then add it to my cart. I'm like, fuck this.
Get out.
Check out. Paid $150.
Nice.
That's it. I don't know if you heard Talk is Jericho this week, but
I had a good laugh.
Yeah, this sort of like totally just like name drops me, and then after that like tells our whole story, and I thought it was funny because I'm like, Chris is like interested. He's like, oh, so Will knows Tony, and he's like, and asking all that, and I thought, wonder if afterward Chris Jericho decided to look me up to find out he has me blocked.
So have you been unblocked yet that you know of?
I don't know.
Okay, because you know the Sean thing with Punk, right?
Which thing?
At whatever the last major show was that Sean went to.
Oh yeah.
I was
right
you
behind.
were there.
Yeah, like right behind him.
Yeah, and he unblocked him like the next day.
Oh, nice.
So
I guess let me check if Chris Jericho has unblocked me.
Guarantee you he is not.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, you seem like a pretty regular guy. Why would he? Like, I can't see you shitting on anybody on social media. I just can't see you doing it.
So my thing is, I have a rule where if I am gonna shit on anybody, I will never tag them. So my guess,
Okay.
my guess is if I said anything, he vanity searched to find it, and
Jericho
'cause
does, I'm sure.
But
Jericho
it would have been
for-
searches like a motherfucker.
I'm sure he does, but it would have been professional criticism, right? It's not like you'd be like, hey, your kids are ugly.
no, I wouldn't have done anything wrong.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
curious. I still don't know what it was, but like I can only think of like 3 wrestlers who have me blocked. Like Sean Spears has me blocked for some reason. It's Sean Spears, Chris Jericho, and Road Dogg. And I know what Road Dogg has me blocked for. But and Michael Cole blocked me.
What about Shawn Michaels?
No, Sean Michaels.
Sean blocked me. I don't know.
He
what
blocks everybody, I think. And
Apparently.
I don't follow any of these people, but I just hear the stories that they do
Yeah.
it.
Like I tell Sean all the time that my phrase I live by these days is chase connections, not clout, because I feel like all these people are just clout chasers, right?
100%.
But did Sean tell you the my New Orleans stories? Because man, they were fun. So I guess inside baseball here. So I was in New Orleans 3 weeks ago for AEW. I was there to see Swerve's first Dynamite match. So after the show was over, I went to dinner with pretty much like all the AEW people. Like I was sitting there. It was me, Swerve, and Keith Lee. We were all sitting at a table, and MJF walks in. Never met MJF in my life. And he walks in, and he just stares at me. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I know you. I'm like, you fucking don't know me. And he's like, I know your face. And I'm thinking, I know he's friends with Sean. And so I was about to say something. He goes, Grapsody, right? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, love the show. You're Will Washington, right? And I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
And
nice,
he's
man.
like, yeah. And then he goes, he was like, yeah, Reg is hilarious. Tell him I love him. And then he pats me on the shoulder and goes, keep putting me over. And it walks off. And I'm like, MJF. And then, so I have a thing where I don't like introducing myself to wrestlers because I think it's like weird and marky, and I don't like doing that. So usually I'll rely on Swerve to do so. I will literally tap him on the shoulder and be like, hey, introduce me to CM Punk, which he did kindly. And Punk was like, hi, I'm Phil. And I'm like, no, you're not, you're CM Punk. But Jade Cargill walks in, and she just lights up the room. She's just fucking gorgeous, right? And
She's
I'm like,
unbelievable. I cannot believe WWE let her get away. She's unbelievable.
in person, so much more gorgeous. And just
I can't even. It's not possible.
yeah, and just regular street clothes just like looks amazing, right?
Yeah.
So she walks in and I tap Swerve and I'm like, hey, introduce me to Jay Cargill.
Yeah.
I'm like, introduce me to Jay Cargill. He's like, fine. And he's like, hey Jay, come over here. And she comes over and she's like, and he goes, hey, Jade, this is my cousin Will. And she grabs my hand and goes, I know Will. And she's like, how are your kids? How is it?
That's
going? And I'm
nice.
like,
That's nice.
ah!
That's nice, man. That's good.
You saw
That
you saw the Cam Hawkins post during Wally Mania with Jade.
Are you asking me?
No, well, both of you. I doubt Jimmy. You saw
I
it.
mean,
Zero
with-
chance. Zero chance. I said.
Yeah. I was with Cam most of that weekend, but no, I didn't see the post.
He told this whole silly story about how like when shit was going down at Wally Mania with the security, Jade walked in and he literally like stopped everything he was doing to try and like help out whatever situation was going on to go and introduce himself to Jade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Security got serious after a while. Like
I
I
heard,
in
yeah.
theory should not have gotten in. But I literally just walked in and Cam was like, hey, come on in. And he let me in. He let me and Phil in. But Reg was running late.
It's really, yeah.
So we got in and we were in VIP just chilling out. And like all the wrestlers are up there. And then when Wale's security showed up, then it became an issue of, are you on the list? And they weren't letting anybody in who wasn't on the list. Like, Swerve couldn't get in, right? Even though he's on the fucking poster and he's like telling security, he's like, I am an advertised act. And-
My face is on.
yeah, he's like, this is me, because they're like, can we see some ID? And he's like, my ID doesn't say Swerve, because like the poster says Swerve, and he's like, my ID doesn't say Swerve, my ID says Stefan Strickland. And they're like, and eventually we had to get Emilio Sparks to let him in and all of that. And Reg like almost couldn't get in at all. Reg was like stuck outside. They're like, you're not on the list, you're not getting in. I don't know what he eventually did, but he was out there like half an hour before security finally let him through. But Wale's security was straight up like, not on the list, not getting in. They even told me, they're like, you walked past this line, we're not letting you back past, because I didn't have a wristband, but I was already in. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm not leaving anywhere.
Nice. Nice.
Anyway, we got a show to do, don't we?
Yes.
All right, Joel, you ready?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just in the background. Jimmy, your camera's doing this weird like heart beating thing.
Where it's like refocusing it.
Yeah, it's like refocusing every few seconds. Hold on. Let it sit for a
Do you
second.
want me to switch to a different webcam?
Do you have a different one that you could try?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try that. Just see what's going on. Because
All right.
it's an autofocus issue that's going on.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Am I flat now again, Joel?
Yeah, it looks okay. I'm just waiting to see if it starts going off again. I think we're
No,
okay.
this is a better one. The first one was kind of like an Amazon Chinese special,
Gotcha.
and this one has a brand name. It's probably also an Amazon Chinese special, but it's got a brand name.
That's fine.
But
Can
they
you?
pull the sticker off and put the new one.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I click the subscribe button. You really should too. If you like videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, subscribe now.